Hello everyone, this is the Collective Soul Tarot and I'm Kay. Welcome to the channel and I'm so lovely to be here with you again today. We're going to do a general reading for the collective using the two decks of Seer Marquetti's, the Gilded Reverie and the Kipper. And we'll start off with those two to do a past, present, and near future read. And then we will use the Intuit Tarot to clarify. Yes, and if you like what you see or hear, would you please consider subscribing and giving me a thumbs up with a comment and maybe even a share. That would be wonderful. Thank you. So, without further ado, let's get going. Okay, Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit, can you please assist and guide me today with correctly interpreting the energies in the cards and to help me see clearly? Thank you. Archangel Michael and my Holy Spirit, what messages do you have for the collective today in this general read for Wednesday? Middle of the week, yay. What day? November the 15th, yes. Wow, 2023. That is one tiny little black cat running around. He's like 9 years old, okay? And he plays like he's 1.5 or a kitten. And I'm not sure what he did. I think he ran into the blinds in the window, and that's what made all that noise. So please pardon my kitty playing. He loves to play, and he loves to talk, and he loves to just get in trouble in general. Yeah, that's my cat. Yeah, okay. And it's his hair that's on the table too, even though it's covered up. Somehow it gets under the cover. But that's Diesel. Okay, so, excuse me. Let's start with the past energy. Oh, a message. Wait a minute. Past energy, a message, okay. And now the recent, the present. Ooh, adjudication. Somebody might have found something out. Pushing my cards a little up. And near future, mature man. Wonderful. You know what this looks like. This looks like someone received a message, okay? Collective, you received a message that told you something. You know, whatever it was that made you deliberate, it's the purpose of it and the consequences of it, or the whatever, the outcome of carefully considering the message, like carefully deliberating over it, right? And judging it. And there was a judgment that you made, a final judgment. Now, whether or not this is you judging or something went to court in the legal matter, but there was a judgment you made that caused you to grow up. You may have sought wise counsel too. This could very well be not you. Wise counsel. This is kind of like the King of Swords in a sense, but Emperor. Somebody you would go to receive wise advice, right? But otherwise, if it's not someone outside of you, collective, it's you, that you've grown up, you matured. You've overcome any other tricky or challenging behaviors and ways of thinking that caused you to stay in a lower, kind of tricky energy of below board, not above board, toxic, sneaky, deceptive type of behaviors that you might have been in the past. Let's have a look-see to see if I'm even close. Let's see if I'm close, if I'm on mark or what with these, because it's just one card after all, across the span of time. Let's see. There is a girl, lady number 2, the seductress, feminine energy, and a message of concern. Well, collective. Either you received a message from a person that you see as like an empress of the feminine energy that you're highly attracted to, and she sent you a message of concern. You received that, or you received a message about her. You received a message of concern about her, because it's a message of concern. Okay, one or the other. We shall find out. Let's see. So if you received a message from this one that you see as being, you know, highly attractive and much like the, you know, the pure feminine energy, right? If you received a message from her, she had some kind of concern that made you pause, really. Made you have to think. Made you pause. Might have changed, what must have made you change tracks. Okay? Change tracks. That eventually, you know, you made a judgment, a final decision, and you grew up you grew up in a hurry. Because this is the past. How long ago? It's hard to say. It's relative for everybody. Now, if you received a message that concerns this one, and it's concerning to you, then it might have caused you, like for example, if you're in a relationship with this one, married or in just a committed relationship, and you heard something about them that made you think twice about the direction you were going with them, okay? And then you decided that you needed to have a little bit more self-reflection and introspection on where you really want to be in your life. Bada bing, you grow up. Okay, let's see. Adjudication, present day, please. Clarification, Archangel Michael and my lovely Holy Spirit. Thank you. I love using these decks. I just love using these decks. It's the birds and the girl, the child. So the birds, card number 12 in the Gilded Reverie deck is messenger. It's a message card. Some kind of communication, right? And this is the bird card number 1. There's a bird card number 2 that has the owls in it, and we've seen that plenty of times too. But this one is more of a frivolous nature in the sense that you'd be receiving or giving a message that's going to come via phone call, text message, email, or social media message, you know. And it could be about a child, quite literally. You may need to be making a final decision about a child if you have one, collective, or it's you sending a message that has to do with a new beginning, okay? A different direction, a new beginning, right? Which, you know, that really pertains to this. So the mature man, let's talk about that in the near future. Archangel Michael has been giving me the idea that why don't you go ahead and use these cards if you love them that much to clarify one of the clarification cards throughout. Whichever one you feel you need most clarification for. But here's the moon. That's got, look at the child card again. Wow. You see it? Yeah. The moon card is about, you know, romance and love and intuition and psychic abilities and, you know, not seeing things clearly, needing clarity, things are hidden, and so forth and so on. And the child card could be that, because it's clarifying the mature man, could be that you have been looking deep within your subconscious mind where your wounded child sits, crying from your subconscious mind, and you have been finding ways to listen to your child And it may be that you take them to Disneyland, Disney World, whatever, you know, as a way, taking your inner child to Disney World or Disneyland in order for you to, you know, feel like you're renewed, you know, you're renewed and having a good time in life now because you've grown up, you've become wiser. I mean, that in itself is brand new to all of us, right? When we become wiser, more discerning, and looking to our hearts to help us guide us from where the life we're currently in and have been experiencing, you know, largely devoid of that type of love that we seek in our lives. Yeah, it's a brand new way for sure. Okay, Archangel Michael. Yeah, you might be taking taking your young self, your child, your young self to Disneyland for some fantasy living, right? Some fantasy land living. Just letting yourself put your hair down, let your hair down, collective, if you're a guy and you got long hair, let your hair down. And allow yourself to fall in love with you. Something that, this is like subconscious stuff, right? Romance and love. Allow yourself to fall in love with you, the little you in you that's been knocking on your door or pulling on your pant leg, like children do, to get mommy or daddy's attention, right? Allow yourself to see yourself tugging on your pant leg, and pay attention and send love to that one. You know, there's a great practice, guys. I think it was Louise Hayes. She's she's deceased now, past 6 years or more. But she started her own business, Hay House Publishing. Yeah, Hay House Publishing. She started that when she's like in her 60s, and I think she passed in her 80s or something like that. So it's never too late is what that's all about. It's never too late to start something and really make it big. Be successful, and it is. Hay House Publishing is highly successful, even has its own self-publishing side of the traditional publishing of Hay House Publishing. So anyway, she wrote a book, and she devised a program. She created a program that had to do with learning to love yourself, right? It's called mirror work. Maybe you've heard of it. I have it, and I've done it, and I keep doing it every day. Well, okay, that's a lie. Not every day, but I think of myself that way. I may not actually look in the mirror at myself and say it to me, but I do. I do look every now and again. I'll get close up to the mirror and I'll look straight into my eyes, and I'll say to myself, I love you. I love you so much. I love you so much. Now that's a really good test, because in the beginning it was very hard to look. Even just, it was okay. You could get close to the mirror, to see your face there, right? But it's very hard to keep a gaze on your eyes in the beginning when you're not so sure about loving yourself. And so it's a great practice, because as you do it every day, you'll start looking into your eyes a little bit more. Now you're doing this along with whatever it is that she says is some kind of mantras. I can't remember. It's been a while since I did the program, but I do continue to do the mirror work, in the sense that I always I'm conscious about making sure I look in the mirror and look deep into my eyes, because it's the window of the souls, right? Window of the soul, not the souls. Okay, and so you look deep into your soul. Well, that's looking deep into your subconscious, right? And it can be scary down there if you haven't done your wounded child work of self-love. That's why you become wiser, is because you actually do your wounded child work. And that's why I keep saying in the child, your defense mechanisms or coping mechanisms that you developed as a child, because you had to cope with and deal with from your point of reference, which was pretty much being powerless because when you're a child, you're not empowered. You have to go by the rules of your adult adult people and older siblings and stuff like that, teachers and the law and whatever. So you are quite powerless, and so you have to be creative, and we are, because all of us are, simply because we're a soul. We're highly creative, and we come up with these coping mechanisms in order for us to be able to live from one day to the next, to move from 1 a.m. into the p.m., back into another day a.m., and so forth and so on. Because unless you die or, unless you die or end your life for some reason, through suicide because you can't take it anymore, you develop a coping mechanism because you're not going to. You may say to yourself, I wish I was dead. We all said that, right? I wish I was dead. So if you're not dead, though, you're going to have to continue living your life, right? So children will devise coping mechanisms. I mean, we do as adults as well. We'll devise a coping mechanism. One is to meditate. One is to, turn the other cheek. One is to civilly have a conversation with the person that you have a problem with. That's a coping mechanism. And then there's the childhood coping mechanisms that would be taken into adulthood if they're not healed there in childhood. If they're not healed there, then your coping mechanism, instead of sitting civilly on the couch trying to have a conversation with a person that you have a problem with, you'll be screaming and hollering at them and then storming out the door. That'd be the child coping mechanism that we're still operating from. Or we'll throw our fist, or we'll punch the wall, and we might, call somebody names, and that's still all childhood coping mechanisms, because that's definitely not an adult. That's not a grown-up way of behaving. So you have figured out how to, through this whole experience, you figured out how to love your inner child, even if it means you're going to take yourself to Disneyland. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. But yeah, mirror work is great. You can go to Hay House or just check online, put in Google mirror work, and you're going to be able to eventually, as you're doing other things like meditation and prayer, or just reading a lot about spirituality, about who you really are, get an interest in signs and synchronicities. You see something like a feather, a white feather, or a coin on the ground just as you get out of your vehicle, or it's on your path as you're walking, pick it up. You don't have to keep it. Just pick it up and say, I know what you're for. Numbers, repeating numbers. My book has many different things that will help you accelerate your spiritual growth. And it's called 10 Ways to, it's been a while. 10 Ways to Rapidly Accelerate Your Spiritual Growth While Creating the Life You Deserve. And then the subtitle is Real Success in Living Authentically. And that's basically what I talk about here. Okay, anyways, on we go. I'm going to clarify this one. And then I'm going to clarify, I don't know. We'll see what Archangel Michael says. Okay, let's clarify lady number 2, our seductress feminine. The dice. And the coffin. But I haven't got a clue what that means, other than the coffin is putting something to an end. Maybe he's putting the concern to an end. Your concern. Maybe this one's taken or you took a risk and a gamble to put an end to it, to whatever it is she's concerning you about. Or if it's the other way around, she took a gamble and a risk to put an end to not speaking, to not be communicating with you. and she messaged you with a concern of like, I haven't heard from you in such a long time, something like that. I haven't heard from you in such a long time. I've been concerned. I hope you're doing okay. That kind of thing, right? Good Lord. So that does not clarify this for me, Archangel Michael. I don't know still if it's one way or the other. Intuitively, he said. I just heard him say, intuitively, with a question mark. And of course, that's what I'm being taught to do, right? Through all this, this whole practice. Intuitively, I feel like it's a concern that you have heard about, that you put an end to. She took a risk and a gamble that was not a good thing to do, and as a result, you put an end to it. You put an end to her in your life, exact, and so forth and so on. Okay, let's see. Let's do, I want to do the card. The bird one. I want to do the bird one. Okay. Timing. That one rarely ever comes out. And ducks in a row. Whipping up frenzy. Cracking the whip on something or someone. Well, that would be making a judgment, right? That you have finally, it's been the time now that right now you are, I'm going to look at timing because I want to make sure I've got the right interpretations. Timing. Let's see, time. My appearance brings time to the forefront of importance. I may be approaching or passing. Okay. You've passed. You pass judgment on the situation. Yeah. So be attentive. Use me wisely to provide perspective. Look around me to better understand my involvement. Certain cards may slow me down, but sometimes a quick action will get the crown. Symbolic of metering out time. Only go forward into time. The hands of the clock will only go forward in time, and we must go on regardless. It is a card of time management, and the hour reminds us to use time wisely. Yeah, so you in the present day right now have been using time wisely, and you've been exacting, you've been using your anger, using your strong emotions, strong emotions of not being happy, strong emotions of strong emotions of just dissatisfaction, disappointment, anger, even just being mad, sad, upset, grieving, whatever. You're using that energy to this. That's what the message is about. To exact the whip, crack the whip on your life, on what this has been going on over here. You have used the whip you cracked it, and now you use the other end to sweep it away, right? You're sweeping it away. You said it's about time. You did it. You finally it was time, you said in the message. You'll say, it's time. It was time. It was time. It was time. It was high time. It was needed to start to get that over with, so you can have a new beginning right here with the child. Now, mature man, I'm going to do let's do the moon. Let's do the moon. Let's do the moon, because that's always a mystery. The subconscious mind. Oh yeah, the fox. That's that trickster. And love, the heart. Yeah. See, your child, your inner child, when you were a child, you had to learn to become, creative, to say it in the nicest way. Creative, as I said before, because we're all creative. We're all creators. But you had to do things kind of in a way where You had to do it when no one noticed you doing it, because you wouldn't have been able to have what you wanted. You wouldn't be able to get what you wanted. You wouldn't have been able to get away with something if you didn't do it without doing it in a way that was deceptive. Maybe you even had to lie if you were confronted. You know, it was childish behaviors of, maybe you even cheated, like when you played games with your siblings or your friends, your neighbors, whatever, that you would cheat when they weren't looking. That's all in your subconscious mind. And this heart card, which is all about love and happiness, right? There's no other way of looking at this card. Love and happiness, pure and simple. Those two swans, they mate for life. It's long-term, secure love, right? It's devotion. You have come to see, let's look at all these cards here. This is you finding the love for yourself, self-love, right? Mirror work, that great way to do it. You look into you see how long you can look into your eyes, and then also at the same time say, I love you. I love you more than I can say. I just love you so much. You say that to yourself, you're on a very good trajectory of healing and becoming wise, grown, matured, spiritually matured, lifetime matured. If you can do that, you're miles ahead. Okay, so yeah, you had to look deep within yourself in order to find out what it was that you were trying to hide. And you were hiding the pain and the ways of your inner child, the way you had to be when you were a child, that you've taken into your adult life. As you aged, you didn't heal that. You didn't even look at it. You didn't even acknowledge it. You didn't even think about it. You just walked into your adult life with it intact, with those coping mechanisms, your ways of being able to get what you wanted in your life. With just took that and operated from that childhood established behavior and thinking. Because our behaviors always represent our thinking patterns. Okay, we will not act without thinking, unless it's an instinct. Now, instinct is different, but that's an animal. That's ingrained, like it's hardwired into the body, because the brain needs to keep your body safe, right? Because no one else is going to do it. If you're not consciously doing it yourself, you have to have these like hardwired instructions for fight and flight, right? So that's what your body is hardwired already, without you even having to think about it. Your body will react, and that's the hormones and that get released from your brain into your body to prepare your body for fight and flight. Okay, that's protective measure for your body. So yeah, if you haven't, we don't do anything unless we think. The thinking is what produces the behavior. It first produces the emotion, but it seems like it's kind of like, simultaneously. And it is, really. It is, because it's that fast. But your body is the emotion that's going to be triggered by the thought is going to be felt in the body, and then the body behaves according to that. All right, so that's Physiology 101. Let's see here. So, yep. As a result of looking at that you've been sneaky and operating on your world as an adult like this, that goes back to your childhood days, the wounding that resulted from you having to defend yourself, okay? In whatever way that might have been for you, but it's all personal, it's all different for everybody. But yep, you finally started to find some compassion for yourself. Having those thoughts that, my God, yeah, I remember what happened when I was a child in these certain situations, and I remember now how I feel about that. And I remember now too how that had to have been driving my thereafter behaviors and decisions I made in my life, not only in childhood but in adulthood too. You start feeling compassion and empathy for yourself. As a result, that self-love and just knowing this stuff, which is healing it, you can't heal something until you become aware of it. You become aware of it, you heal it, and then you mature. You've grown. Spiritually, you've grown. Now let's talk about the message card. We have the Chariot. We have the Winter Solstice, which is find the light within. Okay. The Queen of Swords. And the Eight of Coins, with the gaining wisdom on the back and the Two of Swords frozen with indecision. Remember what I said about the Two of Swords card yesterday? Rip, rip, and then down into the shredder. Get rid of it completely. But yeah, this Queen of Swords here, she became, you finally realized that this one here was recklessly moving forward towards other things, other people, without a care or a concern about how that's going to impact your relationship. She became, as a result of having other places to go. Excuse me, I need a drink. Thank you. She became devoid of emotion because she was like on one track and it was away from you. She became harsh, pessimistic, critical, calculating, abrupt, gossipy, scattered brain, easily influenced, and a clouded vision, right? She couldn't see clearly. And she just, instead of dealing with it like an adult, she was dealing with it from her wounded child inside of her that she's not been looking at and healing. So she's not growing, in other words. Eight of Coins is that you've been working hard trying to, keep your head above the water with living this life with her, being the way she is, and having the sense that something was going on, that you couldn't quite put your finger on it, or you were hoping you didn't have to put your finger on something that maybe she's done before, and you're fearful that she may be doing it again, and you didn't really want to know, but something came to light. Let's talk about the Queen of Swords over here. Death. Queen of Coins. Five of Cups with the Page of Cups. Yeah, okay. She was transforming the situation. She has, you have put an end to your time with your Queen of Coins here. She's been transforming the situation, not for the good, okay? It is for the good for you, really. Because if that's what she's doing, then do you really want to stay in that relationship when you're like an option to the relationship? But yeah, she's the one you've been committed to, this one here. Queen of Coins. And you've been feeling, she's left you out of the loop. You're putting an end to this, and you're transforming. You've been transforming yourself as a result of having this experience. This is what you're transforming into. Okay. Yeah, she's been gambling, taking a risk and gambling. And as a result, you put an end to it. Remember, right here. An end to it. Yeah. She's been offering her cup to someone else. She's been manipulative, obsessive, inner child wounds. And she just she's been offering her cup to someone else, and not to you, obviously, right? So that's why I'm going to put it in the reverse. Now let's talk about the message of concern. The Wheel of Fortune. Let's just do it over here. The Hermit. Page of Swords. There's the message. Messenger about the Ten of Swords. I mean, it's just amazing, okay? Wheel of Fortune is that, let's see here, things beyond your control. It's in the reverse. You're facing challenges because of this message and what your wife's been up to or your long-term partner's been up to. External forces are involved with her having an affair, right? There's another person involved. These are karmic lessons for you, right? You're experiencing these as karmic lessons. This is a big turning point for you to push, a big push, like get out of here, get out of this, get out, out, out. That's you putting an end to it, right? So yeah, it threw you this information that you got from somebody. Okay, you received a message of truth, a difficult message of truth, I might add. It threw you into soul searching, dark night of the soul, and that's why you put an end to it, because you came out of it saying, look, you know, especially if she's done this before, but you've been getting reacquainted or first time acquainted with the divinity within you, because who else are you going to go to, really? Nobody else has your best interest as much as you yourself, which is the divinity within you. So if you really want true and untainted advice, you always seek within first, your highest self. And it might say, go to a counselor. It might say, you might suddenly think of some friend of yours that you know you've always thought highly of and you would seek advice from if you ever had to, right? Well, you're feeling encouraged to do that. So that would be the divine guiding you, okay, to some answers. But you were having to do some soul searching here. It threw you into a tailspin. Okay, and I know it doesn't really matter because it just works all together anyways, but yeah, whatever. Okay, so you put an end to that. You did. You received some information about your gal, your Queen of Cups, your Queen of Coins, who is turned into a really nasty Queen of Swords to you because she was recklessly moving towards what she wanted. Okay? She was recklessly moving towards what she wanted, not what you wanted too. She left you out of the loop. All right, let's see, adjudication. Two of Cups. All right, true love. Six of Cups, someone from the past. Four of Coins, someone you haven't been able to let go of. 10 of Cups. Okay, I need to clarify that because I know you made a judgment. A final judgment. Okay, so I'm just going to go with that final judgment that this is somebody you fell in love with right here. You thought she was your forever after, happily ever after. You know, a very fulfilled and harmonic feeling of blissful love, right? You know, of relationship love. She was somebody from your past, and the two of you, were on the same page, and you worked on your money together. Yeah? You both were financially focused together. Okay. That was your long-term commitment partnership over here. But the other card is that you put an end to it, right? The world, end of a chapter. That's an end of a chapter. That was the last card still to come. I mean, the Three of Swords is here too, with the broken heart. But anyways, you've made a judgment about that. And you will be, in the present time, if you haven't done so already, telling somebody about this. Somebody, I would imagine, is one that you have on your mind. Or just anybody. Anybody that you trust to tell your laundry. I'm not going to say dirty laundry, but just your laundry. Airing your laundry too. Okay. All right. It's time. What's that message card? Archangel Michael. King of Cups. Seven of Cups. Oh. Three of Coins. Yeah. Okay. And the Queen of Wands. Okay. I think that this one here is the lover to your wife, your ex, the one soon to be ex. She had options besides yourself, even though she was in a committed relationship with you, whether it was marriage or not. She felt like she had other options, but it threw you into an emotional quandary yourself. And you were in a third party as a result of this King of Cups, all right, who was romancing your wife, and who became, this is your wife now, who became the other woman. The other woman, which can tell me that this person's also married, the King of Cups. But it's also too that this Queen of Wands will be, she has too many irons in the fire. She's temperamental, pessimistic, she's strong-willed, she's demanding, and she's not easily moved. Which means that she's no way or the highway for her. That's her motto. Everything had to go her way. So she is also, the Queen of Wands is the type of person in your marriage who would cheat on you. Okay? In reverse, Queen of Wands. She turns in, she's a reverse Queen of Swords. And she's cutting you out of your life slowly but surely. She's cutting you out of her life slowly but surely. She's probably turned greedy and just, nitpicky kind of, what do you call it? Not only shallow and manipulative, she was petty. Yeah, petty and greedy. Maybe she spent your money a lot. Maybe she was into spending a lot of your money on just anything, really frivolous to, very expensive things. So she's the type of person who would, if married, cheat on their spouse. Okay, that's the message. That your wife cheated on you, put you into a third party situation, made you feel like an option with going out and having, affairs with the King of Cups. Having done this, though, you see that you have been like that yourself in the past. This is your karma right here. This is your karma. Okay, and you're realizing that here, and that's why you're maturing. The child. Now, let's talk about the child in the present day. Two of Wands, so you have to make your mind up. See other opportunities, options, and directions. There's the Judgment card. Heeding the call, because you're highly stressed to be in that situation that's been breaking your heart. It had not been balanced at all. It was not equal give and take with you and your ex, or soon to be, because there's been a whole lot of secrets and things hidden from you that you didn't know until you found out, until you knew. And so that is your new path, is going to be to put all of this behind you. Okay? You got the Two of Wands here. So the new path of the child is a new beginning. You're choosing, making a final decision on your past, leaving it behind you so that you can move forward. All right. Let's talk about the near future as the mature man. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, can you tell us about the mature man? The lunar eclipse, deep emotional cleanse. Now that would be a deep emotional cleanse. And that's why you've risen, grown into the mature man that you've become. Great card. King of Swords. You know, you had made a severe annex, a severe cut and sweeping with that broom card right here. A deep cut in your life, and cut that one out that you thought was your true love. Someone you've known for a long time, maybe even from childhood, that you were highly attached to, but the two of you, you know, you were on the same page at the time when you met. So it was hard because you grew together. You grew together, but however, you grew apart, right? Because you grew up. You are growing up. And so you had to use not only your own do it by the book kind of what is this, mind over matter kind of thinking and behavior, being truthful, becoming wise, regimented with dealing with her, right? Detaching yourself and being stern, rational, precise, candid, and logical. And it could also mean that not only did you have to become that way, so she did not, you know, misconstrue or misunderstand your intentions, that you're not going to put up with this anymore and you're done with it. You brought in a lawyer, right? A lawyer is a King of Swords, a professional lawyer that seeks the truth and will help you with your decision. You know, help you with your decision to go to court for a divorce. Okay, that's what I'm saying. And Six of Swords, so that you can move from those rough emotional waters over here to calmer waters in your life. You want peace. A mature man wants peace. They want peace really above all else, with a loving, devoted partner that is loyal and will go the miles with you. That's what you want. Okay, and then because you know you've been highly wounded with the Nine of Wands, you become a wounded warrior, and that wounding is from where? Where's the wounding from? Yes. This is yes. This definitely is what wounded you. However, the wounding of this is just a reflection or a mimicking of what? Your childhood wounds. The wounds that you had yet to pay attention to send love to the child, your inner child, the little you. Aren't you worth it? The little you? I had to learn that I was worth it. I had learned that I was worth looking at in my mind, right? Because obviously I don't see myself as a child anywhere outside of me. So I had to gain compassion enough to say, okay, I guess you're worth looking at. You know, I guess you're worth looking at. I never really thought of looking at you before. I certainly didn't think of listening to you before. But you have been listening. You've only been listening through the wounds. From the wounds, you've been listening to your child because they're wounded until they're not. You're wounded. Your child is wounded until they're not wounded, which means you look deep inside, see what it is that you've been up to that's causing these old patterns that you now have to send love to so that you can heal your inner child, and then take her or him to Disneyland, Disney World, whichever, wherever you are. Disney World. I haven't been to Disneyland, but I've been to Disney World. It's fantastic, it really is. for a kid, like not something that older people really, I mean, some people might, but anyways, it's not something like I jump for at this age. No. So let's look at the child. No, we got to look at the moon. Let me get my stuff out of the way. Okay. The moon. Knight of Coins. Yeah, taking your time and you know, being practical about this and protecting yourself so that you can continue to persist looking at yourself. And I'll tell you, that practice of mirror work by Louise Hayes, okay? There's Hay House Publishing. I have a self-publishing package. I purchased it a long time ago to publish my next book. However, I might use it just to republish the one I've already written. It's because it's about things that most people don't think about or consider, and it's very enlightening. Just put it that way. Okay? All right, so Knight of Coins is just plodding along, being committed, persevering to do the healing work. Okay? The full moon, this is illuminating your subconscious, timing 1 month to the next full moon, emotional awareness. You're moving on because that cycle will be completed. When you do your healing work, you can put it behind you. You're always going to heal, okay? But you'll know right away if you behave in some way or have some kind of thought that's negative in nature. It's an old pattern that's rising up again, because they do. They come back until you really, okay, so this is how it works, right? You look at it and you're looking at it and you go, wow, okay, that's there, let's pull that out, that weed, right? You pull it out of my garden in the subconscious mind. So my garden can flourish, which is your soul, your heart, can sing and go la la la. And then something happens, you know, because something's going to happen, because it's always a test. It's always a test. That's what it is. It's a test to see how you're going to operate, what's your reaction going to be. Is it going to be a reaction to in the same manner or very similar to it, or is it going to be a response? Now they are different. Reaction and response are different. Reaction is kind of like that instinctual, something that you would do all the time. Someone says to you, you're an idiot, okay? I don't know why I use idiot as an example all the time, but someone says to you, you're an idiot. And you would normally turn around and say, well, you're an asshole, you know, that kind of thing. Well, that's the, you know, why do you react? That's the question is, why do you react to being called an idiot? No, it's not nice. However, if you were matured, you would look at that and go, you know, whatever. And I feel, you know, you'd be thinking to yourself, I feel sorry for you. You know, have some compassion for that person, because that's their vocabulary. They're obviously operating from their own childhood inner wounds that they haven't acknowledged, looked at, thought about, or healed. And so they're operating from a very disadvantaged point of reference in their life. They're still a child in their adult body, okay? And that's what you've been. And you know how you've been experiencing life over here, right? So you know that they have wounds that are causing them to have really hard life lessons too, to have to overcome. And maybe they're not. And that's why they're still standing there going, you're an idiot. But when you learn to recognize why you did why you reacted the way you reacted, you will be able to pull that out and see. Then you'll say, okay, well, you know, this no longer does me any good. It serves me in no way, in a good way. I give it to God, right? And God takes it and heals it forever. You have trust and faith in that. Well, something else is going to come along, and somebody that you can't stand, and you suddenly run into them. And you say, hey, how's it going? Well, yeah, things are well, right? Yep. Fine, you know. You know, when did, you know, I can't, I'm trying to think of something. What I would have thought you'd be in jail by now, you know. something like that, right? And right away, you're thinking, he's calling me an idiot, or he's calling me an asshole, right? Because why would he think I should be in jail, right? He's calling me something that I really don't take well to. Okay, but then you're thinking to yourself, you have that one moment where you're hearing your spirit speak to you. This is a test. Like Archangel Michael to me, this is a test. And that's where you pause and you go, well, what? Instead of saying, well, aren't you an asshole or something like that, you might actually say, well, why would you think that? You respond instead of react. Reacting comes like from a knee-jerk reaction, and response is like giving yourself a breath, taking a deep breath in or counting to 3 before you respond. It's kind of, you put your thought into it, not your reaction instinct, right? So that's the difference between reaction and response, and that's where you want to be. Is you want to be able to look at it, find it, realize it's there, find it, pull it out, give it to God for healing. But then when someone or something comes along that's going to make you think right away, knee jerk, you're gonna become more aware of it. You're gonna go, I just did that again. Okay, well, don't beat yourself up. That doesn't do us any good when you beat yourself up. All you do is, okay, I screwed up again. Okay, I'll do better next time. That kind of thing, right? The next time something comes along, someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of you saying, yes, son of a, and that you're a blah, 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 right? You go, oh, I hate when that happens. This is you growing and responding differently. I hate when people do that to me. I hate it. But, I've probably cut people off myself, maybe not even realize it, but I do know I've done it on purpose too, right? Or I hate when that happens and I realize that this is a test. Okay? You get my meaning? And then something happens again, to the point where eventually you are so dang wise, you're so squared away with life, taking it a lot less personally, right? You're so dang squared away with it that something like that happens. First of all, it's likely not going to happen to you because, again, like I said, your heart becomes a magnet too. If your heart has got stones in it, instead of just pure love, you're going to attract things that are going to make you want to throw stones at people, or they're throwing stones at you. When your heart becomes, really flexible, allowing, accepting, compassionate, loving for self and others, you're going to be bypassing those experiences because you don't need them anymore. You do not need to attract those kinds of people and experiences anymore, because of you have, like, as they say, as Jesus says in A Course in Miracles, which I studied, Jesus says, you become a different person. You literally become a different person. You're more right-minded instead of wrong-minded. Therefore, your heart is different, and you have more understanding, acceptance, and forgiveness in your heart, because the key to a happy life is forgiveness. So, because when we don't forgive someone, it's really us who's suffering. The other person ain't suffering. They're not suffering at all. We're really just making ourselves sick from not forgiving. So, this is what your work is going to be, and that's what it is about the Moon card here, so that you can heal your wounded child, so much so that you, at the age of, let's say you're 63 years old, you at the age of 63 as a mature man, you feel just as excited about going to Disneyland or Disney World as your child might, or not your child, but your grandchild, or whatever it is, whoever it is, because your inner child's excited about these things now. It's a new leash on life. So I didn't finish with that. That's okay. The child card. The Lovers. Mm-hmm. The Star. That's healing. And the Seven of Wands. Standing up for yourself. Oh, lovely. Hierophant. That means that you are tapping into your inner wisdom, that God within you. that if you had not been spiritually focused before or religiously, either way, you have become in the near future, you have become more spiritually focused or religiously focused. You go to church, or you go and spend time having tea and having a chat with your favorite priest or rabbi or minister or pastor, right? And everything is revealed to you. You are in you are in the sun, what would it be? You're in the, okay, what's the matter with you? Okay, so test. There's nothing the matter with me, I just forget, that's all. So the lovers is that union between you and yourself, okay? Because there is really no talk here about you moving towards somebody. There isn't. And it could very well be, but it's not the focus of this reading. The focus of this reading is how you became aware of something and you made a wise decision to put an end to what it used to be, so that you can move forward and heal and become your wisest self, walking on two legs in your life. Okay, so that's the lovers here. That's you and yourself. You and your little man or little girl, whoever this is for. That's you in love with yourself. You're doing the mirror work. You're in the, I'm still trying to think of that. Okay, so star, you're doing the healing. You're getting balanced. You're feeling renewed, and you're just calm, a lot more calm. Have faith that you are being stalked, okay? Stalked by the divine, because you're making such great decisions in your life. The divine is saying, I'm going to be more so in your life now because you're allowing me to, but also because I want to help you and protect you in every way, shape, or form, okay? And the Seven of Wands, that was the first one. Seven of Wands is you standing up for yourself. Now you're worth fighting for, as you're saying. I am my little self. I'm worth fighting for you. You're worth me fighting for you, protecting you and healing you, listening to you, loving you. You are worth it. I'm finally starting to realize that. You are worth it. The God within. The sun, you are that season. What is the final, what is it? You're in of your life. You're in the what of your life? Yep. You know what, guys? If you would be so kind as to tell me what it is I'm trying to think and have not been able to think of. What is it that when the sun, the sun card shows up, says you are in the blah, blah, blah season of your life? Something like that, right? Will you tell me, please? Will you get on in the comments and let me know so I can remember it for next time? I would so appreciate that. Thank you so much. And so, on that note, let's find out what. This is all great news. This is all great news. You are healing, collective. You're wising up, spiritually growing, personally developing, because you've made some very wise decisions. And one of them was to make sure that if you're going to continue moving forward wisely, that you need to start paying attention to your inner self, your wounded child, the one that's been crying and begging you to listen to them all these years. Okay, no what? What the heck? No what? No, take action? No, take action. What the devil? Recovery. No, take action, recovery. Come on, Archangel Michael. What the devil? No, take action. Well, since no's over here, I'd have to say no to this. You're taking action here, you're sending out a message, and you're recovering. Yep, that's it. Thank you, Archangel Michael. You said no because you're going to recover, because you took action and you said no to this. Brushed it away with that that broom, that birch card. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see. Big happy changes as a result of doing the work. This is remember, as a mental health counselor, I always expect my clients, if they want to come and spend time with me, they are expected to do the work and let go. Big happy changes, and you let go of everything that no longer serves you in your life, because you are what? You have become a mature person, spiritually matured, happily ever after. Okay, that's a hell of a good reading. I really like that a lot. Hey, I got a new deck, guys. See, new deck. It's the Northern Animals deck tarot, which I'm going to use in my alphabet reading I'm going to do right away. So guys, I hope that was helpful. We'll check in with you tomorrow, Thursday, and just keep healing. I love you all. Bye for now.